Hello everybody, day 4. So we're going to talk about being comfortable and the uncomfortable. So yesterday I kind of touched on it and I was like, I don't want to be comfortable in the uncomfortable. It's just this whole divorce thing is not comfortable at all. And it's like, how do you work through that? How do you, figure that out, right? I mean, it's very difficult, and the idea of being comfortable with that is just daunting. So I don't know, I started thinking about things that have made me uncomfortable in the past, right? I mean, just like a lot of people know that I was a wrestler in high school, and I started out late, actually. I was always athletic, did a lot of sports growing up, but in my 11th grade year, my coach came up and he says, hey, you should think about joining wrestling. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't want to get in a singlet and wrestle these guys and all that stuff. It's like, I'm so far behind them, right? I mean, they've been wrestling for years. And so, I don't know, it's very uncomfortable, the thought of it. And then actually going into the gym, you just see it's hot up there. I mean, I think they kept it at 85. I don't know what they kept it at, but it was really hot in the gym. I mean, you're just sweating as soon as you get in there. And then, you just, you don't know anything about it. And kind of learned, at least I felt like it, that I was just meat for the lions, right? I was just thrown in there just to be eaten up and just thrown around. And, it's kind of like this one guy that was, I wrestled 167 my first year. He was ranked 6th in the state. So he was a very good wrestler. And he was a senior, and he's been wrestling his whole life. And it was like a man wrestling a boy, basically. It was not pleasant at all, but I never gave up on it, right? I could have just said after the first practice, I'm done, right? But I kept on going, and just kept on getting beat. Just beat all the time. I mean, every single day. Just, demoralizing. And anybody that's done wrestling or any kind of combat sport knows what that's like, right? It's demoralizing. It's just but if you have that fighter spirit, you're going to stay in there, right? And I stayed in there. So that was definitely a example of being uncomfortable with the uncomfortable. Also, when I did MMA later on in life, it's kind of the same thing. Like anybody who knows that goes into a MMA gym, at least for me, my neck immediately got tight. I was just like, oh man, these guys getting punched, they're getting kicked in the head. I mean, in the gym that I went to, it was no joke, man. It was not just like a little taekwondo gym or something, or no, these guys are killers, man. And it was the same, gym that some of the UFC fighters went to, and Bellator. So they were there to win, and just try to make a name for themselves. But I will say, most mixed martial artists are good, probably the nicest people you ever meet, except when you put the gloves on and you get in there and fight them. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I mean, so those are some examples of being comfortable with the uncomfortable. So as the days go by, I guess I'm starting to get more comfortable with it. I guess maybe the videos are helping, just talking about it and just trying to understand it. But we all go through things in life, and we've all had to be comfortable with uncomfortable in some sense at some time. And just listen to the David Goggins story. I'll put it in the link below. And for you people thinking I'm always out of breath, you should see these freaking hills out here. Well, it's not a hill right, it's not a big hill right there, but I just came from one, okay? So just for you trolls and you haters out there, I still want you there. Please keep on trolling and hating. I don't care. But there's a lot of hills out here. I'm not joking around. but now I walk at a pretty fast pace, about 3.5, 3.7, something like that. But anyways, so yeah, being comfortable in the uncomfortable, and looking at David Goggins' video with Joe Rogan, just seeing the way he grew up. I mean, what a terrible way to grow up, man. God, you know, his dad, you know, was basically, he said he was like the pimp of the neighborhood. He used to beat him and stuff, man. It's just like, it's just terrible, man. And you definitely, your heartstrings go out to him. You kind of understand, you know, where he gets his hardness from, right? And the way he grew up. And I have some similar things, you know, not that my dad beat me here, but, you know, we both grew up poor. We both had challenges in life. You know, he had challenges with education. I did too. You know, there's some challenges that I had growing up, mainly because of medical and just genetic too. You know, there's some things that happen, you know, whether it's, you know, dyslexia or whatever else. People have problems, right? And you got to work through those things, and you got to make the best of them. So, but yeah, so we kind of grew up similar in some ways. And you know, he's been through 3 divorces also, you know, so that's definitely a common thing between us. But yeah, I'm just every day gets better. Every day I try to look at some positives of the divorce, right? You know, I try to think about, you know, what my future's going to be, you know, and where I go from here, right? And really the only thing changes is that she's not here, right? I guess one of the things I struggle with the most is just worrying about her and her decision, right? Because in life you can make decisions, right? But sometimes you can make a really, really terrible, you know, decision. And in my mind, I feel like she probably made the worst decision ever. But that's her future, right? Now she's got to deal with that future, right? She has her challenges, and she's gonna have to figure those out on her own. So to her, she's gonna have to figure out how to be comfortable in the uncomfortable, and maybe she'll find what she's looking for. I don't wish her any ill will or anything like that, but you know, I got my own journey to worry about, and that's kind of what I'm doing now. I'm just trying to figure out, you know, how do I become comfortable? You know, I've thought about traveling. That's always been the plan, right? Always to save all my money, get to an age where I can retire, and then just travel wherever I want to, whenever I want to. And, you know, that's what I would like to do. I'd like to learn different languages, you know, maybe stay down in another country for a few months and stuff like that. So just to try to learn different languages, different cultures, things like that. So none of that's really changed. It's gonna kind of be the plan, right? And I don't really need a wife or anybody to do that kind of stuff, right? I can do it on my own. I can meet new people, just like I meet them out here on the trail. So, but yeah, I definitely think that you know, the whole idea of being comfortable with the uncomfortable is, you know, a very profound statement. And you know, you know, I guess my whole life I've been comfortable in the uncomfortable. Even going into the IT field. I mean, really, I mean, when I first went into IT field, there's a bunch of silverback gorilla nerds, right? And some of these guys, man, they want to eat you up. They want to make you look dumb. They want to make you feel stupid. That's just how it is sometimes, right? But don't let them do that to you. You know, whatever field it is, and it's always the same everywhere, right? And you got these guys in the automotive, you know, maybe mechanics and stuff like that do the same thing, right? They just want to assert their dominance, and just let them do their thing. You have no control over what they do. You just keep on learning. Just keep on learning. And then eventually you'll be the silverback, but you could be a different silverback. That's what I am. I like to teach people. I like to help people, you know. I don't want to there's no reason for me to do that. I'm not insecure. I'm not. I know there's more to life than being a silverback IT guy or silverback anything, right? It's just, I think it's being a silverback. You know, it could be defined in many ways, right? Some might say, "Oh, you're the toughest guy," you know, and you're the silverback, but maybe you're the wisest, right? Maybe you're the wisest and you're the one who helps everybody else grow. And that's kind of what I want to do. I want to help everybody grow. I've always loved to see people succeed. It's kind of like Joe Rogan. You know, he said kind of the same thing. You know, he just loves seeing people succeed, and that's how I am. I don't want anybody to fail. Even my ex-wife, who's put me through all this stuff and made me go crazy, right? I don't want her to fail. I want her to be freaking successful. I want her to be, and she has the potential, right? She has it right at her fingertips. And I was kind of hoping we would do it together, but you know, she could be very successful if she just gets her mind right and becomes comfortable with her uncomfortable right now. And you know, that's the thing in life is, you know, there's, you know, I want to help everybody. I want to help everybody see what I see, because like I was saying earlier, you know, I kind of had similar things to David Goggins. I grew up very poor, and now many people consider me wealthy. And you know, it's all you have to do, reality, is have a positive attitude, have a humble attitude, and that's the hardest thing, I think, for most people, because you're gonna have people talk bad to you, mean to you, and even though, you know, you could punch them in their face, you know, knock them out if you wanted to, especially being a young person, right? I know, remember those days. But, you know, the thing is, it's like, you can learn something, and this can make you successful. And you just gotta go through the pain sometimes. You know, you gotta, you know, deal with that adversity of people trying to put you down, trying to make you feel stupid, trying to make you feel like you don't know anything. And you just got to be okay with that. And you just got to, every day, think to yourself, every day I'm learning something new. I'm learning something new. I'm getting stronger. I'm getting better. Eventually, I'm going to be the other guy. I'm going to be the smart guy, you know, and you will be. That's what happened to me for many years. Like I said, I got really interested in computers. Had that grumpy old dude. His name was Wally Bruff. Wally Bruff was his name. I swear, I mean, he's just a short guy, old, mean dude. And I'm sure he's passed on by now, but he benefited my life greatly. And I want to, if you are still alive, old grumpy Wally Bruff, thank you for making me who I am today. You know, I had other examples too. You know, just people that helped me along the way. And there's people that are good out there. I had another boss, his name was Toby Owens. And he helped me as well. Be more confident. And you just learn different ways to deal with people, different ways to deal with things. And just all these experiences in life help us to be better. And you know, always try to learn from others. And just like you're probably doing right now, you're probably learning from some of the things I say. And just go out there. Don't be afraid. Be comfortable with the uncomfortable, or learn to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. And then eventually, it won't be uncomfortable anymore. And I think that's really what it comes down to, right? You don't necessarily have to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. There's going to be a lot of things. Most of the things that are making you successful are uncomfortable. And you're going to feel like, I'm not smart enough. I'm not strong enough. I've always been bad at that. Or whatever it might be. But don't let those things stop you. Just go and do it, man. Just go out and do it. You know, it's like, what's the worst that can happen? Oh, you're stupid. Okay. fine, but I'm still learning. I want to learn more. I'm going to keep on learning. And eventually, you're going to learn it, right? You might not learn it as fast as the other people did, but it's kind of like this. Think about calculus. Well, maybe not calculus. Because maybe a lot of people out there don't take calculus. But let's just think algebra. Most people take algebra in high school. So, and you use algebra, right? Sometimes, and like I use it in my work sometimes. But, you know, does it really matter that you learn algebra when you were 12 or if you were 46, right? If you learn algebra, you know how to do algebra. And at that point, you know, you can do what you need to do. It's the same with everything else in life. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. The thing is that you want to get there. And then once you get there, then you can do it. The sun's coming up. Beautiful morning this morning. But, you know, that's the thing I want to leave you with is just, you know, learn to be comfortable. When you're first uncomfortable, learn to be comfortable. Go through the process, and eventually you'll become comfortable. And don't be afraid to try something new. And just take it as a learning experience. All right, that's all I had today. Maybe I'll do something later with one of my other workouts.